to play players one-on-one.
She's wearing a knee brace too, Sean, that we hadn't seen before. So it's that time of the season when the little nicks start to crop up.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about the injuries, but the truth is everybody's hurt. So it's, the level of play is faster and better because of a whole season of practice and games, but there's that toughness that teams have too to endure as maybe a leg's not feeling well, maybe you got a hip not working quite right, but you got to power through.
Here's Smet again. And she just sort of mishit that one. She had, now here's Cabrera. This is another player I really like watching. She's quick, she's fast, dependable. She just gets the job done.
And that shows how aggressive Rockville is. Diana Cabrera, one of the defensive backs, coming up to the top third of the field and sort of retreating pretty slowly. She wants to stay on the offensive action there, but she knows her role is to guard against the turnaround.
Well, everybody likes to shoot. But the defense, of course, is absolutely essential to the team.
And this is not to say Cabrera is not a team player. She is rock solid back there.
Oh, absolutely.
And sort of the quiet killer. The ball goes down the left side, and all of a sudden it's on her feet. That's why teams generally don't even attack on that way. Almost kind of the Deion Sanders, Champ Bailey mentality. You don't want to kick it down there because you're not going to get anywhere.
She owns that side of the field. And Harden's getting more playing time today than we've seen in a while, but we did hear from Coach Wakeman that her fitness and her play, her quality of play, have really earned her some more playing time.
And we've seen excellent passes on the corner kick so far.
Oh, there we go. Quinones wide open. An error there by Bowers, and Crystal Quinones with the first goal of the game. Rockville goes up in the 24th minute, 1-0.
And this is just team pressure. Mishandle by Becca Bowers and Quinones with the easy ball, but that's a result of that's what Quinones does. She pressures the keeper. She pressures defenders. She's one of the best at doing that. The ball might be on the feet. It might look secure, but she's still coming after you, and that's what that sort of pressure does. The Rockville's had a bunch of really good shots today, but here's the one that goes in.
There we go.
And that's the value of peppering the keeper with shot after shot. Eventually the keeper's just human. She's going to mishandle something, and that was the one.
Absolutely. They can't be perfect at all times. And the other thing is that it's kind of a combination of all those other shots on goal that they've had numerous opportunities. They've had numerous good looks, and it's almost like, as Kelly Wakeman says, the more opportunities you give a team, they're just bound to score.
Absolutely, and that's one of those goals that the team and the coach can feel really good about, because it obviously wasn't the prettiest shot, but it's an execution of how your team plays. It's that pressure, it's that following the ball, it's keeping on the defense when they have the ball in their feet, or in Bauer's case, in her hands.
And here's another shot on goal. Oh, it slides by.
And Bowers just got enough of that she got a piece of that, and that's going to give Orbe her first chance to kick the corner kick.
And we see Lena Orbe there. She received the assist on that goal by Quinones.
Just enough of a piece by Bowers to scoot that ball wide.
So yet another assist for Orbe. That's her 16th on the season. And that there's another nice attempt there. Orbe with here she goes again, almost like another corner kick. Here we go. There's Bowers trying to head it in. We've got action around the goal. Watch out for Beka here, because she has a knack for picking up balls around there.
She's like a spot-up shooter in basketball.
And here's Rutherford. They're keeping the pressure on. They smell a little blood here. And there's Vivian. And it goes out of bounds.
And, Michael, you can see that this looks, again, like trouble for Frederick. Not only is Rockville keeping the pressure on, like you said, they smell the blood, and they're going aggressively to the net.
Absolutely.
This one goal is not nearly enough for them right now.
No, and definitely not for Kelly Wakeman, who has complained this season that sometimes it takes her offense a little while to get started. Well, I think she's got to be pretty happy the way this is going today.
Yeah, a lot of shots and good chances so far, and obviously the one that's gone in, one that very nearly went in.
We almost had back-to-back goals there, which would, of course, be very demoralizing for the Frederick squad.
Yeah, it's one of those cases almost when you watch a football game, a team scores and then the opponents fumble the kickoff, so all of a sudden you got 14 points instead of 7.
Right. Right, or they throw an offensive, an interception on the first play from scrimmage, something like that. It's one of those real momentum changers. And, of course, in soccer, with goals at a premium, a 2-0 lead, even this early in the game is very tough to come back from.
And especially with the style in which Frederick is playing today. They're not offensive-minded so far today. So either they would have to change their mentality down 2-0, or that could very well be it.
And do they have the numbers to attack on offense? That's another question. Here's Rutherford. She's going to dig it out of there. She loves this. This is all physical here.
And again, Masha going 1-on-3 and very nearly winning that battle.
Smet showing some good physical play. Gets the ball away.
And Smet with a good ball, not quite enough pace on it. Looks like it took a bad hop because Trujillo had to stay on sides there. Otherwise, that was almost a sure goal with that pass.
A little long there. Rasmick runs it down. Along with Heidi Howard of Frederick.
Games like this are fun for the entire team, including the defenders. They're up at midfield. They get to handle the ball. They almost get to play a midfield position and get the offense started when the team's attacking. So a defender doesn't mind this sort of game at all. They're just as into the game as the offensive players are.
Cindy Climaco, seeing some action. We talked to you about her earlier. She suffered a knee injury, about 2 weeks ago, Sean, and she's been rehabbing it, and it's good to see her back out there.
And in that game, Lena Orbe was briefly hurt too, and then Climaco went down, and we can see there's clearly a difference in Rockville's play when they have all 3 captains on the field, and that's Orbe, Climaco, and Julie Bowers, and when they don't. So look for them to start flying now.
And we'll try to keep an eye on Cindy, see how she's moving. She doesn't look to me like she's running all that well. She's pretty fast when she's healthy. Looks like she's still laboring a little bit, but they say she's much better. They're going to give her a little bit of time today, I think.
That's right. And one of her trademarks is those runs down the side of the pitch to create for a team, or if she gets past everybody, to get a scoring chance for herself. But she loves to drive the ball all the way down to the net and then pass it right back up the middle.
Yeah, she doesn't see herself as a great shooter. She told me, she says, I love to pass. I love to get assists. And boy, is that a great attitude to have on a team.
Absolutely. It's it's playing to strengths, it's knowing yourself, and it's knowing what it takes to win soccer. The goal of every good offensive player should be for the team to score, not just for you to score.
Well, we've got a couple more substitutions. Claudia Guzman in for Kylie Harden. Claudia Guzman, one of the leading scorers on this Rockville team. And, of course, that's one of the advantages of having a deep bench. You can rest her and then bring her in fresh. And, boy, Frederick is in for it now. And
that shows how potent this offense is. Guzman didn't have a lot of playing time early. She sort of worked her way into playing time in lineup. And
here she goes.
She has paid dividends when she's come in.
There's Rasmick. Tried to get it to the middle. Yep, look at that. We've got 5 of the top 10 Maryland JUCO scorers in the game right this second. Trujillo, Orbe, Guzman, Beitka, and Rutherford.
That's it's a pretty good scoring punch, and when you're playing a team, who are you gonna mark up against?
Yeah, really. I mean, they're all dangerous, every one of them in their own way. Of course, Trujillo being the leading scorer in Maryland JUCO.
Diana Cabrera doing a great job stepping up in front of Bethany Lisk to keep that ball on Rockville's side before they eventually give it up for the goal kick. But I'm looking at Bethany Lisk to kind of step up her game. She's, I don't know if it's a function of the game or the fact that the ball hasn't been around her. She just has not been very active on that left side. And with only 2 forwards up, Frederick needs more of her to be productive on offense today.
Absolutely. It can't all fall on Palvey. I mean, there's just no way. It is not a game that is easily dominated by one person.
And you can see Palvey giving chase, but that's 1-on-4 with good space between the players.
Yeah, and she's going to wear out if she has to play like that the entire match. And Klamako with the throw in. There's a good shot on goal, but just off the mark.
That one came out of nowhere. You didn't need a lot of space to get that shot off.
It really did. It just sort of popped out. There's Trio with the bad leg. And she did get up a little slowly.
And that's only a few inches off the mark. And that's a fantastic shot from almost a dead stop.
Boy, that really is a lot of pace to it and very accurate, just a little high.
And Cindy Klamako making her presence felt. She won that ball and then had a quick throw in to get that shot going.
And look at Bowers all the way up in the offensive end now. And there she shows off her dribbling skills, keeps it away from number 7, Bethany Lisk, who, as you said, you're looking for a little more from in this game.
She's got to bring a little something more for Frederick to get a good scoring chance when they get the ball on their side of the field.
I think one thing we should point out for Frederick here, we were told that Stephanie Caddy would be back today for Frederick, but she is not on the bench, so she had a sprained ACL, Sean, and it looks like it must still be bothering her. Otherwise, she'd be here today.
That's right, and I did talk about her at the Open, and we expected to see a little better scoring punch from Frederick. So they're shorthanded, but she's been a player who's been hurt all year. So at this point of the season, teams aren't feeling sorry for you. And from game to game, you might be able to excuse yourself for missing a player, but this is an injury they've been dealing with all year.
Yeah. They did think she would be back today, but obviously it's still bothering her.
And obviously we wish her well and a safe return to the lineup.
Absolutely. Don't want to see anybody hurt. These kids play awfully hard. Of course, they're Division III athletes, Sean. They don't get any scholarships, no financial aid, no housing. It's all about the love of the sport. It's great. It's sport at its purest form that you can have at the college level, I think.
Absolutely. These are excellent high school athletes who weren't done playing yet and wanted to find another field for competition. And just because it's non-scholarship, Division III, I mean, these aren't slouches on the field. You can't just run out there and compete and expect to be on the team. Players try out for these teams and get cut. So these are excellent players who just wanted to continue playing. And for a team like Rockville, you can see how well they play together.
Oh, absolutely. For instance, the men's team for Rockville, they have over 100 guys try out for that team every year. There's a good, strong shot, but high by Razmick.
Another chance for Razmick with the ball on her feet. Nice pass over there.
That's a long one. Goes through the. I don't guess we're going to give her 3 points for that one, Sean.
No. But we do have the old school goalpost from the days of yore of local high schools here.
And when MC had a football program.
Michael, you told me an interesting story about the MC football program, why burgundy is one of their colors, and we sometimes see the R pop up on their logo, and it looks curiously like the Redskins are.
Well, that's because when MC first started their football program back in the early 50s, they could not afford uniforms. And the Redskins gave them their hand-me-down uniforms. So by default almost, they chose burgundy and gold as the school colors for the Rockville campus. And you can still see burgundy and gold in a lot of the uniforms, although the women's soccer team right now is wearing a black and white uniform. And there's a player down. It's a Frederick player. Number 8, that is Laura Hildebrand.
And she's on that back line, one of the defenders who's really played well against Rockville's pressure today. And with the amount of chances and shots they've had to only let 1 goal in so far, part of that is a function of execution, and part of that is the function of the defense taking a lot of balls away and making the shots more difficult for Rockville. So this is a doubly difficult situation, not only having one of their best players down on the field, but there's no substitute, Michael. If she's out of the game, then it's 11 on 10.
Yeah, that's a very tough thing. And we're gonna take another look while we have a moment at the first goal of the game. And there's Quinones. That was in the 19th minute of the first half. Quinones assisted by Lena Orbe.
Unfortunate play for Bowers there, but like we talked about, Rockville just pressures and pressures and pressures, and when you play that way on offense, the ball just bounces your way sometimes.
All right, we're going to take a short break here while they attend to the injured player down on the field. We'll be right back with the rest of our first half after this. And we're back on the Rockville campus of Montgomery College, the soccer pitch here. 1-0 so far in the first half of play. Rockville on top. We see the injured player there for Frederick. Laura Hildebrand just went off the field. We don't have any word yet on the severity of the injury or the type of injury. There was some suspicion it might be that she got the wind knocked out of her, but we don't know that for a fact. We just know that she is off the pitch at the moment.
Yeah, one of our cameramen, Joe Thompson, he's always on, Michael. He does the basketball here in the winter and does an excellent job at it, but he's always thinking sports. So he happened to see the wind get knocked out of her, and in that case, she might be back up on the sideline and into the game at the next dead ball.
Well, with Joe out there, it's like having a play-by-play guy on the field. He's our intrepid on-the-field reporter.
Right. Coaches always talk about having a player on the field who's like another coach. We have Joe Thompson on camera, so we're covered as far as needing to know what's going on for things we can't see.
He is a font of information.
Thank you, Joe. We appreciate all your fine efforts today.
And we're back in action. Got about 13 minutes to go. We have about 13 minutes to go here in the first half. Rockville on top. They've had a comfortable time of it, even though it's only 1-0. They have been on the attack. Most of the action has been in their offensive end so far, Sean.
Yeah, and it looks like a couple fresh bodies on the field. Omnia Johar and Laura Kelsey both seeing some action at forward right now.
Johar is from Wheaton High School, a very hard-working, very versatile player for Kelly Wakeman. And Kelsey was one of the late adds to the team. She's been earning more playing time with her play. She's also a left footer, which can present a problem for an opposing team. And
Johar, really a good teammate. That you want one through the last player, and not to say that Johar's the last player. She's one of the last off the bench today, but an excellent contributor. And we saw her assist in a goal in Essex, one of those assists that don't show up on the stat sheet. She screened the goalkeeper with a little 2-on-2 play, completely unselfish because she could have very well received a pass for a shot, but she knew screening the keeper was going to give her team a best chance to score. So I really like her game.
And there we go, a little bit of a run up here for Frederick. As we see the injured player still over on the sidelines for Frederick, standing in the shade trying to get a little breather. So hopefully it's nothing serious.
You'll think Frederick might want to just control possession, get the ball downfield, and kill some clock for the next 12 minutes and try to have all 11 for the second half.
That's got to be the plan.
But Rockville, a little something to say about that as they keep the pressure on offensively.
Boy, they really do, and they have some very talented feet out there. They're controlling the ball, very aggressive. They're not going to give any quarter here.
Kristen Wachter for Frederick, contributing well in the midfield so far. She's won a lot of balls, started a lot of offense, but again, the numbers game has caught up to her.
Here we go. There's Guzman. Gets it out to Kelsey. And
here's a chance.
Oh, there's a big chance. As Bowers came out aggressively but fell and had a little trouble getting up. There's a header by Guzman. Almost goes in. Here's Razmik keeping the pressure on, but wide.
Fantastic offensive sequence, but that's one of those ones that's going to have Coach Wakeman shaking her head because that should have been a goal a couple different times right there.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure she's not real thrilled about that.
Great effort to get it in, and there's the header attempt. Just squirts a little wide.
That was a good effort there. Freshour taking the goal kick. And Rockville right back at it. There's Lena Orbe, number 10, one of the co-captains on the team. Wants to be a corporate lawyer one day. And having talked to her, she's not going to have any problem doing that if that's what she wants to do.
Not at all.
Very intelligent young woman, very opinionated. A lot of fun to talk to, actually.
And she's one of those people, you know, we talk about her motor going on the field. It's fun when people, when you see their personality as a player, reflect their personality as a person too. You know, there's nothing put on about her. And we could use some more lawyers with ethics like that.
That's for sure. Another good move by Bowers. And Montgomery College should retain. Yeah, they get possession there.
Tough call there. The ball kicked off. Looked like it might have been off of Cabrera, but the line ref with a much better angle than we have, so we'll go with his call. So some of the height coming back in. We see McKenna Smet, Julia Beitka back in.
Yeah, Kelly Wakeman substituting freely. As well she should on a day like this. It's warm, and she's got the numbers on the bench.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest advantages here is Frederick playing 10 on 11 right now. They don't have any substitutes, and Rockville talent from the top to the bottom of the lineup. Coach Wakeman is confident with playing any of the players she has on her team.
Just over 7 minutes to go into the first half.
And you can see the unselfishness as Lena Orbe sort of has sunk back more into a midfield position, trying to set up her teammates who don't get a chance to be offensive threats quite as often.
Here's Paul V with being run down by Vivian. And pretty good opportunity there for Frederick, but good hustle by Santiago.
That's their best chance so far, but a 2-on-3 situation, 2-on-4 once Santiago got herself into the play.
Well, Sean, we've been talking a lot about Kelly Wakeman so far this season, or so far this game, and here's a look at her career so far.
Well, she was a player, and she has that mentality. She was a goalkeeper, so, you know, if there's any player to transition to, coach, you talk about a catcher in baseball, you talk about a keeper in soccer, because she's the one who sees the whole field and is sort of that second coach on the field.
And she told me when she chose Julie Bowers to be this year's sweeper on the team, she says, as a former keeper, I'm always looking out for that person who can protect my goalkeeper, who can keep my goalkeeper comfortable. And that was one of the reasons why she asked Julie Bowers to make that switch from offense to defense. She saw that in her.
Absolutely, and you talk about someone who has a consistency of personality. This is someone who just does not quit on anything. She has a determination to build Rockville into a soccer program along the likes of the men's soccer program, and they're having a banner year this year, and for her, this is just the beginning. She loves the players that she has this year, and she wants to continue to get players in that she loves to coach.
Well, you mentioned the men's program, and when you talk to Kelly Wakeman, she constantly refers to the men's program and to their head coach, Steve Nakamura. She uses them and as an example, as a template, so to speak, of what she does want to try to create here.
And when you talk to Coach Nakamura, you can tell he definitely has a fondness for what Coach Wakeman is doing on the pitch here. So it's great when the coaches from different sports are there to support each other, especially when they're basically in the same sport, different gender.
Yeah, and they definitely do support each other, and it's really a teamwork sort of thing. And you got to thank Steve Nakamura for a lot of that. Steve is a selfless guy. What a hardworking guy he is for Montgomery College.
Absolutely. And Coach Wakeman, her full-time job is to be a reading teacher for high school kids, and I mean that's mental toughness all day. These are kids who have gotten to the high school level through different kinds of academic accomplishments, but still at that age have trouble reading. So think about how frustrated those kids are coming into her class every day, and she has to deal with them and teach them to be better readers.
Pretty good collision in front of the goal there between Lena Orbe and one of the defenders from Frederick. And we might even get another look at it here if we're lucky. And that was a good collision. No one hurt, which is even better.
And again, that's the contagious physicality of Rockville, led by Masha Rutherford, not on the pitch right now, but these young women practice with her enough to know what it takes to win some of those balls.
Absolutely. She said, Kelly Wakeman said after she hit a few people in practice,